Hello, welcome to Speedle Workshop 2. In this workshop, I'm going to introduce what is Speedle embedded mode and how to embed Speedle into your application. First of all, I'm going to describe what is Speedle embedded mode and show you the APIs, and then demonstrate how to embed Speedle into your application. At last, I'll ask you to do some exercises. Before you begin, please set up Golang environment and get Speedle code from repository. The embedded mode means that the Speedle engine runs as a part of your application. And currently, the APIs for embedded mode only supports Golang. There are three major methods for embedded mode. To initialize an evaluator instance, the method is new_from_file. This method accepts two arguments and returns the evaluator instance. The first argument is the file store location, and if the second argument is true, that means if the policy store gets changed, the evaluator will make decisions according to the latest changes. Otherwise, you need to refresh to latest policies manually. The method refresh can do this. To make a decision, the method is allowed. This method accepts a context and returns the decision according to the policies in the policy file. This tree shows the directories and files of this sample. Let's enter the samples directory. Expenses handler is the code for expenses requests. It handles all the requests to URI/reports. And the Speedle handler wraps the expenses handler. It checks whether a user has permission to access expenses services. The method wrap first initialize an evaluator instance and returns a new HTTP handler function. In this function, it calls isAllowed to check the permission. If the user has the permission, it then calls dedicated handler to do the services. Otherwise, it returns 403 to the user. The expenses system has one resource, /reports, with 4 actions: create, delete, get, and modify. Role employee can create, delete, and get reports. Role auditor can get and modify reports. Before writing the policy file, let's introduce the policy file format. Each policy and role policy is written by SPDL, which stands for Speedle Policy Definition Language. The syntax for role policy is grant or deny someone do something if the condition is true. And the syntax for role policies is grant or deny someone role name if the condition is true. According to the resources and permissions of the expenses system, the SPDL file can be written like this. It has one service, expenses. There are 2 policies and 1 role policy. Role employee can get, post, delete reports. Role auditor can get and modify reports. And user Alice is an employee, so she can create, delete, and get reports. It's time to run the sample. Try to build the sample first. It's done. Run the server. The server wants a SPDL file. The sample has already provided a SPDL file. The content is same to it should before. User Alice is an employee, and the employees can get post-delete reports. Start the server again. It's running. So let's try to verify if the user Alice has permission to get expense reports. I'm going to send HTTP request via curl. The method is get. The user is Alice. It worked. The server returns an expected result. So let's check if Alice has permission to modify a report. The expected result is forbidden because Alice is an employee. She is not an auditor, but only auditors can modify the reports. It was denied. I'm going to add a new user Bob as an auditor, but not an employee. So the user Bob has permission to modify the reports, but he can't create or delete reports. Now he is an auditor. Let's check the result. The user is Bob. It worked. Then check if he can delete reports. It was denied. Here is an exercise for you. The question is, David is a trainee and works as an auditor. He can do what an auditor does except modify reports. How to define the policy? The hint is define a denied policy. You can define the policy like this. Deny user David modify reports. Let's try to verify the deny policy. David is an auditor, and he can't modify reports. Modify. The user is David. It was denied. So let's check if he can get reports. Yes, he can get the reports. And let's check if he can delete a reports. It was denied because David is not an employee. He's an auditor. so he can't delete reports. This is the end of this video. Thank you for your watching. Goodbye.